My name is Neil Brown, Executive Director of the Controllers Council. And before I get started, I'd like to introduce our sponsor and also a few housekeeping items. First, that housekeeping. After the panel discussion, we'll have an audience Q&A. And attendees, please use your GoToWebinar control panel to submit your questions, and we'll get to as many as possible. We'll also have a few polling questions. So again, use the control panel to vote and see your peers' responses. And in answer to a very frequent question, you will receive a link to this webcast via email in the next 24 hours. So no need to take notes. So now about our sponsor. Our moderator, Judy Hanover, is from Sage Intacct. And here's a little background on Sage Intacct, a global leader in cloud-based accounting and financial management software for small and medium businesses, and the first and only AICPA preferred provider of financial management solutions. The Sage Intacct Cloud Platform supports advanced reporting and analytics, multi-entity accounting, and consolidations. So with that, Judy, take it away.
Thanks, Neil. And thank you to our audience for joining us today and our panelists as well. If you could advance the slide. So today we have joining us Sophia Shafiq, the controller with Red and White Fleet, Bram Duploy, controller with Atlanta Convention and Visitors Bureau, and Amanda Goibel, VP of Finance with Orlando Regional Realtor Association. Bram, do you want to start off and introduce yourself and tell me a little bit about your role and how you got started with Sage Intacct? Bram?
Yeah, thank you, Judy. Yeah, no, I'm here. That old thing about clicking the unmute button. As Judy has said, my name is Bram Duploy. I'm with Atlanta Convention and Visitors Bureau. We are a destination marketing organization and promote the city of Atlanta. We are a private non-for-profit organization, and we are not affiliated with the city. I always add that piece so that people actually can know that we're actually private. We do, however, receive private funds, but we also have public funds that we receive. I am with ACVB for short for 15 years in this current role. And in 2013, we converted from our old legacy system, the old IS 400, to Sage Intacct. And over the years, we have developed the system, and is now actually at a place where we actually just finesse it and adjust it and make little changes here and there. Currently, I am the MVP of Sage Intacct. I served on the advisory council last year. This year, I am serving on the AI advisory council. I'm also the Atlanta user group lead. And then I've done multiple presentations and panel discussions.
That's great. Thank you, Bram. I really appreciate your participation. Amanda, do you want to tell us a little bit about your role and your use of Sage Intacct?
Yes, I am the VP of Finance here at Orlando Regional Realtor Association. We're the 7th largest realtor association in the country and the 3rd largest in Florida. I've been here for just over 4 months now, but I've been using Sage Intacct for 7 years. I've used it at the last 2 companies in which I've worked and have gone through implementation twice myself, and am actually in the process of probably going through a 3rd. And just with that, I've done nothing but Sage and have enjoyed every minute of it. When we did come off of Sage Intacct come onto Sage Intacct at my previous company, it was off of Microsoft Dynamics, so it has allowed us to just function better at every organization I've worked at.
That's great to hear. Sophia, tell me a little bit about Red and White Fleet and your role.
The controller here at Red and White Fleet. We are a small family-owned business on the wharf in San Francisco. I've been here for over 5 years and been with Sage Intact. It'll be 4 years at the beginning of the year. It was one of my first decisions coming on board, and it's been the best decision we've had as a company. And we're continuing to use it as we kind of get back up into post-pandemic years. So I'm looking forward to it.
So today we're going to be talking about questions that controllers should be asking their CFO. I wanted to start by talking a little bit about the, I think, oh, perfect, we've got our agenda slide. We want to talk a little bit about CFO and controller collaboration in the, 3 organizations panelists come from, and just, some of the best practices and the ways that they've developed collaboration. Then we're going to talk about closing the books. What does that look like? How much pressure there is to close faster, and how financial automation has helped ease that process. We'll talk a little bit about automation and how our panelists are using automation to accelerate closing the books, accelerate other processes in their departments, the day-to-day, replacing mundane tasks with more strategic work to leverage automation. Talk a little bit about audit preparation and how automating your finances can help make audits go more quickly and easily. Talk a little bit about how our panelists are all using reporting very differently. So there's some interesting stuff we'll talk about there. And then about the benefits they're seeing and what's next, what's in the future roadmap. With Members in the Cloud, there's always new functionality, and so how we're planning to leverage that. And then we'll just take some questions from the audience. Please use your question pane in the webinar platform. If you do have questions as we go, we'll get to them as we go, or if we miss it during the presentation, we'll get to you at the end. But please do enter your question.